Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto Was Turned into a Girl. And if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And today is going to be a triple upload as well, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's continue our story. Naruto looked at Hinata as she retreated after that toe-curling kiss, and before she left, shoved an envelope into Naruto's hand. Shaking her head, Naruto continued on her way to the gate. She still had 10 minutes, but she had vowed she'd never be late like Kakashi. And Uncle would tear strips from my ass if I ever did. She thought with a smirk of the woman she thought of as a big sister, who was now her sensei as well as the official guardian. Naruto unconsciously licked her lips, tasting cinnamon as she hot-footed it towards the gate, and hopefully the waiting Jiraiya and Anko. Link break. Sakura was walking in the daze. Her talk with Ino had raised more questions in her mind, and she was still trying to figure out how to handle her feelings regarding Naruto. I don't know what I'm thinking, but ever since the force during the second part of the exams, I feel so different for Naruto. I know now I don't feel anything for Sasuke. I can't believe how he spoke to her. It disgusts me. Sakura, so lost in thought, didn't realize that she was at the gate until Naruto's hands on her arm made her jump. Geez, Sakura, you were like a million miles away. You okay? The voice was softer, but as she heard the words, Sakura wanted to mentally lobotomize herself. Fine, just thinking on something Ino told me. She gave the blonde a fake smile and looked as she looked away. I was a fool for not seeing it before. Call me what I am doing. I fall in love with someone I don't deserve. Uncle Sensei is right. I need to give Naruto space to get used to who she is and how she can no longer be. And I need to clear my mind before I persuade her. Alright, brats, Uncle said, slinging her pack over her shoulder at the same time tossing Naruto's at her saddlebag. Saddle up, Uncle sighed, her team out with the gate guards. They'd gone 20 feet before Sakura crossed. Where's Master Jiraiya? Uncle sighed. He's waiting a couple of miles ahead from us. Or he better be, Uncle added with a growl. They took to the trees quickly and Uncle kept checking on Naruto and Sakura with a backwards glance. I don't like this. It's too soon to be pushing her like this, Kami. It's only been a month since the change. I swear if the old pervert does something to upset her in any ways, he'll get a snake animal. Sakura was keeping pace with Naruto, her green eyes studying the blonde who was sleeping, and at the same time she was making hand signs that Sakura didn't realize or recognize. Naruto, what are you doing? Sakura asked, practicing sign language. Uncle started showing it to me as a way to communicate when it's absolutely needed to be silent on a mission. Sakura watched for a bit. Could you teach me? Naruto looked at her shoulder hands and Sakura thought for a moment she would refuse. Sure. Uncle had smiled. Link break. Back in Konoha, Ino looked up from where she watched the counter of her family store. She rushed out to the door. Hinata, wait a moment, she called out. Hinata, who had been on cloud 9 since kissing Naruto, turned and saw Ino coming towards her. Her mind screaming that this girl was trying to steal Naruto. Thus, her body tensed and without even thinking about it, she slipped into her family's gentle fist stance and activated her Byakugan. Poor Ino, who wanted to talk about her position in Naruto's life, never saw the strike until after the hit. Link break. Anbu Interrogation Center. I'm here to see Sasuke Uchiha, Kakashi Hatake said in a dimmer tone. Access to prisoner Uchiha is restricted at this time, the black-masked Anbu guard said. Kakashi blinked at the word prisoner. He is incriminated in several acts of treason with the civilian council members, the second guard said. Kakashi. The Jonin turned to see Ibiki standing there. You need to go. I want to see my student, Kakashi said. You can't really believe. You confessed his involvement, Kakashi, Ibiki said. Used his clan's money to try and influence things towards his favor. Even speaking of abandoning the village to get power. Kakashi missed. I want Sasuke to wash his mouth. Now, Kakashi sighed. Can I be informed when I can see him? Ibiki nodded. Don't expect it to be anytime soon. The fact that he is not only trying to suppress the curse seal is looking bad for him. If he uses it, I've been ordered to execute him on the spot. Kakashi winced as he recalled telling Sasuke that he had to resist the seal, but even now it looked like his prized quote-unquote student couldn't do that. He wants its power. He'll take any shortcuts as long as he gets what he wants. Kakashi sighed and left, knowing that he probably wouldn't see his student again, as it all depended on Sasuke's loyalty to Konoha and his willpower to resist the curse seal of Orochimaru. Link break. Hidden location. Demons been promoted to Chunin. One shadow female spoke. It's changed. This proved how much the demon is in control. Another voice spoke. Female. It doesn't matter. It can still be used. Plans were ruined when Orochimaru failed to follow through with his strike. A third voice, another male, said, "We still have our sleeper agent." The first voice said in a suggestive tone, "No, not yet. I'll have one of my agents slip information out to the Akatsuki. Let them weaken the demon first." "Is that wise? They are S-rank criminals," the second voice said. "We need to keep our hands clean. Sarutobi is still in power, and with him jailing several members of the council, we need to move carefully," the third voice said. "Damn Orochimaru," the second voice said. "Send word to Akatsuki," the first voice said with a resigned sigh. Link break on the road. "Hey, Purvis Sage," Naruto called from where she was hanging upside down from a branch and doing vertical sit-ups. "I told you not to call me that brat." Jiraiya whined from where he was sitting again a tree and writing on a notebook. "Whatever. It's what you are, though," Naruto said. Anko was working with Sakura and the pair snickered. Sakura was learning Anko's fighting style and the snake mistress was telling her what not to do. Removing the leg when performing that move and you'll dislocate your knee, Anko warned as she turned her attention to listen to what her little sister was going to say now. "When are we going to train? When are you going to show me that jutsu you were talking about? You know, father, after I showed you that I could master the first step of the Harishin without the kunai," Naruto said, and this got Anko's attention fully now. She had been meaning to ask about the move ever since the fight in the stadium, Jiraiya's height. "After we reach the town, I need to get some supplies before we begin, and no, I can't show you now. As I said, I need these items. It was the way I was shown, and it's how I'll show you," Naruto muttered. "Lazy pervert," even as she counted and continued with her sit-ups. Anko noticed Jiraiya would look up and watch Naruto's movements before giving a dirty giggle and then scribble something in his notebook. "And Purvis said," Naruto called after 10 more sit-ups. "Yeah?" Jiraiya screeched as his notebook went into flames. "I'm not bank material for your books. I'm your child for comic's sake." Jiraiya looked sadly as his notes were destroyed. Even from where they were, Anko and Sakura heard the wind. "That was going to be a bestseller." Uncle grinned proudly. "That's my little sister. Tease the hell out of them, leaving them with blue balls, then crush them." The kick missed the Chirag and he gulped. "You fucking pervert." The blonde whirlwind had caught him peeping on her. Sakura and Anko in the hot springs, and now covered only in towel, he was hard pressed to avoid her bare legs as they kicked about and nearly took his head off. When she went for a jump kick, he showed how agile he was, bending backwards as she sailed over. The giggle she heard told Naruto that Jiraiya had just gotten a very good look beneath her towel. With a yowl of righteous fury, her foot came straight down, leaving an imprint on his face as she stomped him into the ground. "I can't believe you would spy on your own godchild." Anko and Sakura came out of the hot spring to see Naruto wrapped in a towel around his torso, which came to about mid-thigh, stomping Jiraiya into the ground under her barefoot. "Should we rescue him?" Sakura asked. Anko gave her a look that said, "Are you stupid?" "Right," Sakura said as she looked around. "We should get Naruto and get dressed. It's late." He tried again. Anko, who had been miming someone hitting someone else's side. "Spoil sport," she muttered, then went to get the blonde. "Come on, brat, we need to go. Your girlfriend needs her beauty sleep." Sakura sputtered, and Naruto was too busy glaring at the stomped body of Jiraiya as she was led back to the changing room. Jiraiya was laying there. "Kami, she's gotten moves," he thought and then giggled as his hand was reaching towards his belt. He grabbed his notepad and, ignoring the pain, he began to write his notes. The image in his mind, thinking his godchild was truly a goldmine for inspiration. Link break, hotel. "I can't fucking believe him." Naruto was pacing back and forth. Sakura was stretching out as her bedroll study studying the scrolls Anko had given her. Naruto? The blonde ignored her while continuing the rant about a perverted son. And Anko had slipped out to get food, telling the two she'd be back soon. No hanky panky, and if you do, I want videos. Anko said before leaving, with her laughter echoing even with the door closed. Sakura sighed and looked up when there was a knock at the door. Naruto? Door. She tried, but the blonde continued to ignore her and continued her rant. Sakura sighed. Anko Sensei probably forgot her room key. She muttered, slipping past the blonde and who spun went to the other way. Took you long enough, Sensei, Sakura said as she opened the door. And for Sasuke? She said, and then shook herself at the obviously older version of her former teammate, choked and eyebrow. Sorry, though you were someone else, Sakura said in a pause, and it was then she noticed the giant sword next to the obvious Uchiha. Can I help you? Give us the QB bread and we'll let you live. The swordsman spoke, and Sakura took the note of his future. What the hell is he? She thought and then shook herself. I think you have the wrong room, she said and started to close the door. The scale faced swordsman put a hand to the door, preventing it from shutting. We're here for Naruto Uzumaki. Give him to us or die. There is no one here but us girls, she said and pushed the door open to close, but the bigger man had height and weight advantage. It was then the Uchiha looked in and sighed. She's telling the truth, Kisame, he said, spotting the still pacing blonde girl with blonde hair and top knot. Grr, I think we should kill your informant, Kisame said and stopped back and stormed away. Sakura sighed. Sorry to intrude, the Uchiha said, and tell Sasuke when you see him that his brother wants him to get stronger. With that said, Uchiha turned. Sakura took notes that they were both wearing cloaks with red clouds. Weird. She decided, making a mental note to talk to Anko when she returned and thank Kami that the strange man didn't know about Naruto's transformation from male to female. It gave me bad vibes, like Orochimaru did during the force of death portion of the exam. Sakura thought with a shudder. Ugh. Who was at the door? Naruto asked. Wrong room, Sakura said, deciding the blonde didn't need to worry about this as well. Link break. Jiraiya had knocked the woman they used as a decoy out, and they had been already to intervene when the pair left the door to the room shut. What the? He said, confused by their reactions. His spy network was never wrong. They told him that they were coming for Naruto. What the hell did Naruto and Sakura do? He pondered, and for a moment he slapped himself. They are looking for Naruto, a boy. Obviously, Naruto they aren't looking for is a girl now. Jiraiya saw Anko coming up the stairs and he sunshined away to keep an eye on Itachi Kisame until he was certain they were gone. Link break. Sekbar. I don't get it. 3 Konoha are traveling with Jiraiya and your informant said that the QB bread was with the toad sage. Kisame said, drinking his sake. Itachi Uchiha, the Eastern Konoha criminal, listened for murdering his whole clan. Looked at the green tea with sigh. Itachi was concerned because his informant was wrong. Kisame was gripping about following a bad lead. I mean seriously, how many whiskers marked blondes are there? Itachi paused mid-motions as he was about to sip his tea and his mind flashed back to pacing room decor. He put his tea down and rose. We've been tricked, Itachi said in a monotone voice, and Kisame was actually forced to run in order to keep up with his long-time partner. Jiraiya, who had been across the street, cursed and leapt after the pair, hoping to waste no time. Damn, Uchiha put it together. Link break. Naruto ate her dango quietly. She complained that Anko hadn't brought ramen, but when the snake master said that the ramen stand didn't smell right, Naruto believed her. After the food arrived, Sakura had pulled Anko out of the hall and spoke to her. The pair returned to see Naruto with 12 empty skewers. Anko said to it, was that my dango? Nope, came the blonde's answer as she bit another dango ball from the skewer. Anko's eyes twitched again. Those are mine! She leapt to attack and caught a bare foot of the face. Suck it! Naruto yelled. Sakura shook her head at the behavior of her sensei and teammate. They really are siblings, she thought as the door exploded off the frame behind them. She flinched when the smoke cleared. She flinched seeing the Uchiha standing there. Hello, Naruto-kun. I think it's best if you drop the disguise and come with us. Itachi Uchiha answered again, his Sharingan blazing as they focused on the blonde, who was being startled by Anko, and the two froze in their war for the dango. So not good, Sakura thought, and readied herself for a fight. She knew she couldn't win, but she was damned if anyone was taking Naruto from her. The remains of the second floor were testament to the battle that had just finished. The burn hole in the wall showed the path that Itachi and Kisame had taken to get away from the jutsu involving the stomach of the giant mountain toad Jiraiya had summoned after appearing during their fight between the three Konoichi and the two S-rank criminals. I think I was doing them a favor by interfering, Jiraiya thought as he looked and relieved that had appeared on the face of Kisame when Jiraiya had appeared. The girls had been doing a number on the former members of the Seven Swordsmen. Itachi had still been in the doorway when the three women attacked. It had started when Kisame had rushed the room after Itachi had blasted the door off its hinges and grabbed Naruto. Kisame's hand had landed on the blonde's well-endowed chest, and the resounding slap had probably been heard back in Konoha. The asking that followed made Itachi realize why he was avoiding dating, as all three women beat Kisame like he was a rookie cannon. Jiraiya shook his head. All of that, and they think Naruto is wearing a henchi. The Toad Sage had heard the two Astra missing names speak. His gaze went to another participant that had been a surprise. What's that bastard doing here? Naruto stood with her arms crossed over her chest as she looked down at the comatose Sasuke Uchiha, who had appeared during the fight and gone straight after Itachi, who beat him without even trying. I thought he was in hospital or something. Jiraiya thought and shook his head as he gazed at the Uchiha who had been hit by his brother's Sharingan and was currently suffering from the mental strain. I don't was as far as Jiraiya got before the four lieutenants heard a very familiar battle cry. Dynamic entry! Jiraiya turned at this. No, wait, I was all he got before being kicked in the face by a green blur. All three Konichis were standing back, oblivious, sweating dropping. It was Anko who spoke. Way to go, guy, you laid out Jiraiya and helped our enemies. The green beast of Konoha looked at the man he was standing on and gave a sheepish look. Link break. Naruto and Sakura packed up their things and Jiraiya and Anko spoke with Kai, who agreed to take Sasuke back to Konoha. He's an idiot. Naruto said of their former teammate getting Sakura's attention. What do you mean? Sakura asked as she grabbed Anko's backpack. The dumb bastard didn't leave on a mission, and I doubt that he stopped to fill out the request form. Naruto looked at her. And you can bet he didn't say anything to anyone that he was going. Sakura bit her lower lip. Her years of having a crush on Sasuke were hard to break. She hated him and herself for how they treated Naruto. The month away had been good for not only her self-esteem but had made her think under Uncle's Stuttgart and the Snake Mistress was a troublemaker. How bad do you think it will be for him? She finally asked. Naruto shrugged. Suspension of his ninja license or totally removed from him from the ninja program. She said, the council will of course try and push it under the rug and make it go their way. Will the Hokage allow that? Sakura asked and she saw the darkening of the eyes in the blonde. Why wouldn't they? He's the last Uchiha after all. The sun shines out his ass and he bleaches roses. Naruto said as Sakura watched her swing her back over her shoulder and knew that she didn't want to talk about that Uchiha. So Sakura changed the subject. Are you okay? The pink-haired girl asked, finally. What? The blonde looked at her confused. Well, the fish guy grabbed your chest. Sakura said, and at this Naruto started to giggle. Link break. Anko and Jiraiya watched as Guy leapt away with Sasuke when they heard Naruto's giggling. Nothing gets her down for long, Jiraiya said. Oh, she's get down. Add in the fact she is now hormonal and she could snap, Anko said with a feral grin while Jiraiya looked at his cold child and shuddered. It seemed his cold child could use Tsunade's super strength and that thought had Jiraiya paled. Crap, I can't let them meet, he thought and then realized he was screwed as he had to bring back Tsunade. Damage control, Jiraiya thought as two teens approached and Sakura handed Anko her backpack. You brats ready? Are you? Naruto asked her godfather and the tone of her voice gave the Toad Sage a flashback to when he was their age. I'll meet you at the edge of the town, he said and departed hastily. Naruto looked at the other two. What's with you? Getting identical shrugs. Anko then grinned. So, kicked some sushi ass? Both Sakura and Naruto giggled. You think someone his age and never touched women before? Naruto said all three Konoichi had thoughtful looks on them. Link were miles away. I'm telling you, Itachi, they are real, Kisame said as he was dabbing his wounds with a healing blade. Itachi sniffed. I think you fell for whatever Genjutsu Naruto had prepared. Kisame shook his head and hissed, touching a wound from Naruto's lap. With fingernail extended. Did you Sharingan detect a Genjutsu? Itachi was quiet, and Kisame could tell his partner was thinking. No, Itachi finally said. But unlike my clan, I don't believe that the Sharingan is all seeing. It can be fooled. Itachi shook his head. Naruto is a male, and whatever he did to hide himself, it won't work. Kisame looked at his partner like he was insane. You can't fake boobs like that, Itachi. I'm telling you, they were real. I squeezed them for Kami's sake. At this Uchiha's look, Kisame shook his head. At the Uchiha's look, Kisame shook himself again, wondering to himself, has Itachi ever been with a woman? Link break, road. I feel like I need a bath. You don't think that fish guy had some sort of disease or transferable rash? Do you, Sakura-chan? Naruto asked as they walked. She adjusted her sports bra for what felt like the 100th time. Sensei? Sakura called, what is it? Uncle called back. She was currently walking point while Jiraiya was dozen paces behind them. Every so often a giggle could be heard and they caught him scribbling on the notepad. Naruto got a problem. Sakura said, ignoring the dark look that the blonde gave her. Can it wait until we are at camp? Uncle called out. No. Yes. Were the answers. It can wait. Naruto hissed. Even she scratched her under the boobs. No, it can't, Sakura said as she pushed the blonde to the side of the road and outcropping the rocks. Uncle raised her eyebrow at this. She looked back at Jiraiya, who wasn't paying attention. Show me, she ordered and joined them behind the boulder. I'm not going to show you my boobs, Naruto said. Alicia's grin had all three look around and then up to see Jiraiya preaching on the boulder with his pad and a pen with his hand. What? He asked when all three women finally noticed him. His only answer were three fists that sent him over 1,000 meters straight up. Really? He needs to keep her away from Tsunade, Jiraiya thought as he came back down and then darkness. For him. Link break. He woke up near sunset and noticed camp had been set up. He looked around and spotted Onko. Where's the Gaki? He asked. Fish boy gave her a rash. Luckily, we had some creams and packed and she'll be fine by the morning. Sakura washing the clothes after we put the medical cream on Naruto's priest. Don't make me summon a snake to bite you, Anko said, the last seeing Jiraiya scribbling on his notebook. But it's pure gold. The toad said whined. Uncle growled. It's your gold, child, for God's sake, you fucking pervert. In her tent, Naruto lay topless, lost in thought. She looked up when a high-pitched squeal told her that Jiraiya was awake. Not for long if he pissed off Anko. Naruto dozed off wondering when they would find Tsunade and what she's like. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Now stay tuned for the triple upload today. This is the Polo Uchiha and I'm signing out. Peace.